This is Take 5 with JK Strategies.
This is Jack Calvertinis, and welcome to another episode of Take 5 with JK Strategies. We're here today with the President and CEO of the Construction Industry Roundtable, my good friend, Mark Casso. Mark, welcome back.
Thank you, Jack.
Appreciate it. Let's delve into today the management challenges that you see as being sort of the most significant facing the construction and design industries from your point of view.
First of all, I'd say that management around HR is the number one issue for the companies, without a doubt, and it has been for years and years and years. So they often say their human resource is their most important asset, and it's true. The creative solutions that they come up with are from their people. Mm-hmm. Having said that, they have to deal with a very complex process and a changing world, quite frankly, and we see that in the way that the marketplace has changed, expectations, younger generation of employees. But beyond that, there are also the intrusion of external issues like IT, for example, which has disrupted a lot of parts of the human resource element. So, for example, something as simple as use of IT can help productivity, of course, but it also exposes the firms to great possibilities of cybersecurity concerns. People smarter than I in this portion of the industry say to me that most of the concerns around cyber is not the tools, it's not the process put in place or the technical pieces of the technology, it's the human element, the interaction of the human person. So we get right back to the same management issues. How do you manage your people to utilize the IT for productivity purposes, but to also be very conscious of the back doors that they may leave open? So a lot of the cybersecurity that we're seeing and our firms are witnessing come directly from their own human resource people, the people using it, in other words. For instance, just recently we had our spring conference here in Washington, D.C., where we brought in our membership from across the country. Now, the focus of the conference was on infrastructure spending, public policy at the federal level. But right in the middle of the meeting, right off the floor came this thunderclap that there was a real-time cyber security attack on one of our firms. So you
Unbelievable.
You can imagine the impact that had, not only for the disruption of that firm for that time period that they're under attack, but it had a ripple effect through the industry, interestingly enough, because we had gathered our leadership from across the country, and it really galvanized how important this issue was that they have kind of overlooked. And so we tested this question, and sure enough, now 80% of them are saying this is a very high concern for them. It's something that keeps them awake at night when they're dealing. And again, it's important to understand, as I said earlier, that the exposure is through human interaction with the IT world. And so it's a management issue. And we're still working through this, and we see this as an issue that we're going to go forward having more time spent on it to explain it and how to manage it. So this is a really big change in terms of focus since the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it hit everyone with what happened with oil and gas, and then the supply of gas. People don't necessarily think about cybersecurity when it comes to industry sectors, but we're talking about a major sector like yours, and one that not only is constructing and designing, but also maintaining our key infrastructure.
No question, and it's one of the better kept secrets in our community that the construction is one of the major industries, as you say, $1.5 trillion worth of work going on there, in a normal year, and we've automated it, made it more IT intensive, the interaction between clients and the firms, and that's where the attacks are coming, because of the exchange of documents, blueprints, all kinds of knowledge that is now embedded in both the smart buildings as well as first responders now have it. So there's lots of ways to get back into the system, and we're finding those are the gaps that need to be addressed. So that's a management thing that's new to the membership, I would say.
Well, you all handled that well, because I happened to be here at one of your receptions here at the Willard, where we're taping today, and did not even know that was occurring.
Yeah.
But I know there was a lot of, as always, smart conversation and dialogue between your members, and I think that's part of the power of what your organization is able to provide its members.
Yeah, we try to do that, and we've concentrated around the conferences to get that message out. Interestingly, that conference that I just referenced also included a whole segment on IT, which turned out to be the right topic. But that segment was about how to increase productivity, how to use some of the new systems and processes and mapping to help the members, and particularly, here we go again, utilize their asset the best efficiency. That is their human asset. And the big question is, how do you mobilize your people to go after projects? Because you put a team together to go after a project, put your best foot forward by who you put on that team to go after a project. So you have to manage their time, manage their schedules, manage their dollars. And so there's a lot of IT that's starting to work its way in. In fact, some of the people that represented that session said, we're finally in this industry getting attention to this part. So that's something to look forward to.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, it sounds like, IT, cybersecurity, and obviously always workforce development and HR are keeping folks up at night. Thank you very much for being with us today, Mark.
Thanks for having me.